Welcome back to Stock Trader School, from Rookie to Rainmaker, and this is Trade Tech Thursdays, where we learn how to code today in under 5 minutes. Got it? Good. Let's get started. So today, I'm gonna show you how to make your own custom indicators, even if you've never programmed before. We're gonna do this all within TradingView, which is one of the most popular charting websites for traders. And if you didn't know, there's actually a programming language hidden inside called PineScript. You can use this language to customize indicators like adding extra lines or custom colors, or even go crazy and add your own AI models into it. Today, I want to introduce you to PineScript. It's not too complicated, so let's jump right into it. If you are new here, consider subscribing because we release videos about trading and technology every single day of the week. Alright, let's go ahead and jump into TradingView. For this example, we're gonna be using the NASDAQ chart, but you can follow along with whatever chart you would like. Now let's say that we want to make a custom indicator that shows us the 50 and 200-day moving average as well as when they cross. This will be useful to let you know when the market sentiment is shifting from bullish to bearish or vice versa. Alright, now let's head over to the top left corner and click on the Indicator tab. In here we can type in the name of the indicator that we want. If we just want to see the 50 and 200-day moving average, we can simply type into separate moving averages. However, we want to add an extra feature to our indicator. We want it to tell us when the 50-day crosses above the 200-day, since that will signal a bullish sentiment shift and vice versa. To do this, we will have to write a script instead. If you haven't noticed already, there is a clear difference between these two options. The top option allows you to input parameters such as length, source, and style. However, the bottom option says Write Custom Indicator. Go ahead and click on Write Custom Indicator. This will bring up the Pine editor. Don't worry, we'll be doing everything in this little box here. All we need to do is tell TradingView what we want the indicator to do, and luckily we already know what we want. We want to know when the 50-day crosses above the 200. Now you may be asking yourself, wait, how do I tell TradingView that? Well, we're going to do this by writing out some code. Luckily, TradingView has already made it super easy for us. They have basically pre-written out almost everything we need. In fact, all we need to do is copy and paste these lines of code. So let me just go ahead and do that right now. Copy those 2 lines and go back to the editor and paste them in. Now these 2 lines of code are what is known as a strategy. This is how you tell TradingView to act. And as you can see, it's written in a very plain English-like format, so don't be scared. Let's break down this code line by line so you can understand how it works. First off, we have the comments section. You don't really need to pay attention to these comments, but these comments explain exactly what the code is doing. So if you ever see the word strategy, that means it's telling TradingView to act. Then we have the let version equals 5 code. This code tells TradingView which version of PineScript we are using. Right now the latest version is 5. And lastly, we have the actual indicator code. This is what will generate the moving average lines. These lines of code are using the ta-lib library. Basically, this library contains pre-written out code that makes it easier for us to do more complicated tasks. In this case, we're using it for the moving average calculations. Now all we need to do is go ahead and hit Add to Chart, and now we have our 50 and 200-day moving average on our chart. Awesome, but remember we also wanted to add an alert that notifies us when the 50-day crosses above the 200-day. To do this, we'll have to add a few lines of code to our script. So go ahead and move your cursor down until you reach the end of the script. Once you are there, go ahead and add the following code. So let's go ahead and copy it and then paste it in. Now we're going to go through this line of code line by line. This first line of code is defining a variable called cross. This variable will equal true if the 50-day crosses above the 200-day and false otherwise. Next we have the if statement. This is telling TradingView to only do what is inside the parentheses if the cross variable is equal to true. Then we have the notify function. This function will send us a notification on our computer whenever the condition is met. Lastly, we have the text that will be sent to us. In this case, it will just let us know when the 50-day crosses above the 200-day. Once you've done this, go ahead and hit Add to Chart, and now you should have your 2 moving average lines with alerts. Whenever the 50-day crosses above the 200, a pop-up will appear. Amazing! Now you're probably wondering how we can actually receive these notifications. Well, there's two ways you can do this. The first way is by clicking on the bell icon at the top of the page. If you click on this, it will open up the notification panel. In here you will see a list of all your open alerts. The second way is by clicking on the Alerts tab at the top of the page. This will take you to the same notification panel. Personally, I prefer opening up the Alerts tab. You can play around with the settings to your heart's content. There are so many things you can customize. For example, you could change the look of the moving average lines or even add another alert for when the 50-day crosses below the 200. Now all of this may seem overwhelming, but it's actually very simple. There are literally endless possibilities with TradingView. For example, you could write a script that does all the work for you. Literally, you could write a script that trades for you automatically. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Consider subscribing for more content. Thanks. See you later.